Hello, Sinead.
Hi, Jay.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to the Formula Fun podcast. Wow,
Wow.
first one,
Yeah, not
first
gonna
proper
lie.
podcast.
Feeling pretty nervous.
I genuinely had butterflies in my stomach when we were
Yeah.
actually going to press record.
Yeah. And
Okay.
between us, we've performed to thousands and thousands of people, but this is way worse.
Yeah. So, we should maybe talk about that before we carry on. So, we're both performers, right? So,
Yeah.
I graduated many years ago from performing arts college and have worked in various places all over the world as a vocalist and singer and actor and things, and now my wife and I, who Sinead knows very well, are based in Belfast, just outside of Belfast, but always been a Formula One fan. How about you, Sinead?
Yeah, well, similar to Jay, I studied in London at a conservatoire, which is a fancy name for a music college, and graduated similarly longer ago than I like to admit, and
Hmm.
had a pretty good career as an opera singer and did some musical theatre as well. And more recently, I accidentally got hooked on Drive to Survive, and then I was talking about it when we went out for dinner one night with Jay and Shauna, and Jay was like, "What? You like Formula One?" And I was like, "Yeah, do you like Formula One?" And he was like, "I invented Formula One." So then now we kind of bonded over that, and then he came to me with the idea of starting a podcast, which I think is something that you've wanted to do anyway.
Yeah, I've followed Formula One for years. I'm talking even the late 90s when Schumacher was basically winning everything. I remember sitting at home and just watching Formula One all the time. And when all these podcasts started coming out about Formula One, I feel like A Drive to Survive really elevated Formula One in terms of the recognition that everyone now gives it, and loads of people and episodes and podcasts just came out, and a little bit of me was like, that would have
Should
been
have
a
got on
really good
that
idea.
bandwagon.
Should have got on the bandwagon when it was huge, but I think it's been sort of a little niggle at the back of my head, a little fun passion project. So let's see how it goes. And then as soon as I connected all the dots and went, hang on, 2026, complete change of regulations. Everyone is they're rewriting the rule book in terms of how the engines and how the aerodynamics are being done, and that just made me go, you know what? There's no better time to start something than now. So then we've had a couple of conversations, and I was like, hey, fancy doing a podcast about Formula One? And you were straight on board.
And he doesn't know what he's gotten himself into.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, and basically, this is when, this is what's been changed this year, and there's now a recharge mode, and you're going to be like, I haven't even recharged my camera.
Speaking of, you'll notice that Jay, well, if you're watching on a visual platform, if you're not, I'll audio describe it for you. So Jay is in a very schmancy studio with his very expensive equipment, and behind him are a series of framed Formula One related posters, plus a helmet and a race car.
Here we go. Can you work out whose helmet that is?
It's a little bit
probably not
blurry,
it's quite
far
small.
away. I mean, I see yellow, but I know it's not Lando Norris.
No, it's actually from when Renault used to be in it, who are now Alpine. And Renault had a driver, Robert Kubica, who was Polish.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of him.
Had a massive accident in 2007. Following year, won the same race. But
wow.
Yeah, big fan of his when he was knocking about.
So he's not dead, which is good. That's good.
No, he's still going. He has retired from Formula. Well, he doesn't race in Formula One anymore. He was a reserve driver for a bit after having a race seat with Williams. But that's a little tiny version of his helmet next to a McLaren Lego car, which I cannot tell you how much I enjoy building it. So yes, I've done my floating shelf. I've made sure all the photos are aligned, and it looks lovely. And I'm very, very, very happy with my little studio layout that I've done, which I genuinely have spent about a month on doing. So I hope this looks good to everybody. But yeah.
As you can see, I have a backdrop of the Belfast skyline. Very good. I have a single Williams t-shirt that I only bought because I love science, and it was the unicorn one, and it's pink and it has a big unicorn on it. And then for Christmas this year, my best friend combined two of my great loves and bought me a jigsaw.
With all the helmets, driver helmets on. Love that.
But it's 1,000 pieces, so I haven't even started it yet. But once I do, I'll get it framed and
get it framed and add it to the wall. Yeah, lovely.
And then the other thing was, on my Christmas wish list this year was a human-sized cardboard cutout of George Russell. But nobody got me it.
We need to actually, can we just really quickly pause there? What's the fascination with George Russell? You're obsessed?
I love him. He's my favorite driver, and I don't care. I don't care that no one likes him. Sorry, George, if you're listening. Did you not know? He first got me because he reminds me of a couple of my mates that I met at uni, like posh English twats, essentially. Are we allowed to swear?
Who knows? Spotify ban us after one episode.
So yeah, and I loved I love how dry he is in when he gives interviews. But then, I also genuinely think that he's a really good driver and he's really quite underrated. And I don't like the way he's been treated by Mercedes. And I think it's really unfair. I think it's not, here I go on my soapbox. I think he's often perceived as being let's say a Lance Stroll type of being wealthy and all this stuff, when he's actually one of the least well-to-do drivers on the grid. It's because he comes across, I think, as a posh person that was well educated. I don't know. So yeah, I would love to see him win a championship, and I think he can with the right team around him, but we shall see.
I think he's just been in it from such a young age that he's so well PR trained, and that's when it comes across difficult, because it feels like every question he answers is so because of his PR training. Do you know what I mean? Every answer he gives, it's never putting the team down, really. It's very well spoken, like you said, but I feel like it's
he's a diplomat. But he is funny as hell. And he's also one of the few drivers who I think will go toe to toe with Max Verstappen. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not necessarily on the grid. I mean, in the newsroom.
He's not afraid to stand up to him, that's for sure. And also, there's this whole, there were rumours going around that Max might eventually sign with Mercedes. They left sort of George out to dry this year, didn't they? Because they were thinking that Max might join. But everyone was then just assuming that George would be the one to go. But I am not too sure, because at that point in the season, Kimi wasn't doing great.
Anyway,
we'll get into everything. I think he's great. I think he's always the one that showed up last year in general. And I even have a Mercedes top on today, but I'll get into that later. But yeah, okay. George Russell. Sinead and George Russell will be betrothed. Hopefully.
I do have a very, very lovely fiance who's way more handsome than George Russell as well.
But he's got a look of him. You've got a type, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Tall, dark, and handsome.
Tall, dark, and handsome. He certainly is. Okay, so introduction of both of us sort of ticked off, I think. We're both performers. We both sing, dance, act a bit, and we thought, why not come together for a little Formula One podcast? So welcome to Formula Fun. Please give us a like, a sub, share. I don't really know all those things that you can do on Spotify and things, but please do whatever you can to help support this podcast, because we I might look like I know what I'm doing in my beautiful studio, but genuinely, no idea. So please come along and join us for the ride as we talk about every week. The intention is that we're going to launch one episode a week. We'll probably record every Monday. If there has been a race, we'll give a bit of a race review from the weekend. If there hasn't been a race and there's one coming up, we'll give our predictions. We will talk about the current news that's happening. But of course, the season has already sort of started because last week there was some launches, but we'll talk about that shortly. Thoughts on last year? Let's go. What do you think,
So,
Sinead? How did you see last year?
well, I thought, like, from a theatrical perspective, since, we are trained in the theatre, it was pure cinema. Like, the drama of it, Piastri's downfall, Max's comeback, Silverstone, that was my favorite race. I know we're going to get into that, like breaking it down maybe, but I Hulkenberg's podium, like the double disqualification of McLaren at Las Vegas. I mean, come on, like it seems like every single race was just another kind of uh, I'm sure that the makers of Drive to Survive were rubbing their hands in glee because they just had so much, and I guess we'll find out because the new season comes out at the start of March, I think.
Yeah, Star March will come out. Yeah,
So
definitely
I
give that a
loved
watch.
it. I thought it was a brilliant, brilliant season. Obviously, only like the second full season that I've ever watched. Have watched the odd race from seasons previously, but so yeah, my overriding thoughts are that I was actually delighted that Max didn't win. And that's not because I'm a Max hater. I do think he's like a one-off amazing driver of all time. But it is more interesting when it's not just like you said back in the day, Schumacher won like back to back to back to back seasons, and sometimes it can just get a bit if there's no competitors, then that's part of the reason why I watch it. So
yeah, and I think the first season you watched, which would have been 2024, Max was on a charge. Like he was, I know there was a tiny thing, like Lando might be able to do it. He might be able to chase him because he won his first race and stuff. But Max literally had it in his hands right from the start. Whereas this year, yeah, it was very entertainment based, wasn't it? Like I think the Las Vegas thing where both McLarens got disqualified, I was like, what? And then it
unbelievable.
ended
When
up
I saw the
he won.
headline, I thought it was a joke. Like,
Yeah,
because I'm on
he won
Reddit a
it by
lot.
2 points. He won it by
Yeah.
2 points. Lando like that, and yeah, I think when we got into Zandvoort, like we were fully, oh, they're gonna crush it, and Piastri's run away with it because Zandvoort, the Dutch Grand Prix, Lando Norris's car broke down. There was an engine leak or something, or an oil leak, and yeah, he was out of it. And that at that point, I was like, Oscar Piastri has got this tied up. He's sorted.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the unpopular group of people going, I think Piastri drove a lot better than Lando for the first half of the year. I don't know if everyone agrees with that, but I think a
They
lot of people
do
thought,
for the
yeah,
most part.
a lot of people were like, oh, Lando's doing great. He's always getting podiums and stuff. And I was like, but Oscar's like crushing him every possible opportunity. And he was just in a league of his own. But then as soon as after Zandvoort, we went to Monza, and then there was that whole the pit stop was slow. Oscar had to let Lando back past, and
Yes.
from
That's what
then
I
he just
mean.
had a
It was
massive,
drama. It was
massive
pure
downfall. It
theater.
was,
Like,
yeah, it was full on drama until the very, very last race where he literally won it by 2 points. And hats off to Lando, like he got the job done when he needed to. Yeah, I loved it last year. I thought it was good to see that McLaren, who were at the back in 2023 at the start of the season, they finished last in Bahrain. To then have that journey, to then go, we've won it in 2024, the constructors, and then obviously 2025, and the drivers in 2025 as well. That's huge.
yeah.
I mentioned I watched Formula One from a young age. I think I was always a massive fan of McLaren. I'll say I'm a massive fan of McLaren because I think when I really started taking Formula One seriously was the introduction of Lewis Hamilton. When he arrived,
Whee!
I was like, I watched it with my dad a lot, and then when it got to 2007 and Hamilton arrived on the scene, I was hooked. So I know that you're a big supporter of George Russell. I don't support a driver or a team, but I will
Hmm.
always. I think whenever I turn on the TV or I'm watching anything to do with Formula One, my eyes will naturally go to where is Lewis Hamilton on the track? What position
Yeah.
is he in? What's going on? And if
Whereas
anything
my
was,
first introduction to him was he's Nicole Scherzinger's boyfriend.
yeah, back in like 2008, 9, I think he was like they were
and
together, weren't they? Right?
and in a lovely full story moment, Nicole Scherzinger is now a celebrated musical theatre actress.
Yeah, she's one of us.
Yeah,
She
she's one
just
of
did
us.
Sunset Boulevard, right?
She
And she
did,
was
yeah.
the
And
recordings
she's
I've heard are
won like
class.
Olivier, or yeah, she won an Olivier award and was nominated for a Tony as well. Yeah, so
Wow. Fun facts of the Formula Fun podcast, nothing to do with Formula One. I had no idea about. um,
was that Reggie? I heard Reggie.
can you hear him? Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a
that's
cockapoo
all
called
right.
Reggie and he barks a lot. So I was introduced properly to Formula One and really, I think, got behind McLaren because of Lewis Hamilton being there and the Chrome McLaren. Then also when I've done all my history and stuff and understanding, the sport in general, like Ayrton Senna in the McLaren, the iconic orange and white McLaren, big fan of that. I think that's the most beautiful car ever designed. And yeah, but I'd now go so far as to say that I don't really have a team or like a driver like I fully support.
Yeah,
I just love the sport in general. I really, really love the sport. I'll follow Lewis Hamilton 100%, but I also follow all the other drivers as well. And sure, a little bit of me would love a fairy tale ending of Lewis has gone to Ferrari.
getting his
Would love it. Would love it if he can get his 8th championship.
is it
Would
10?
love that.
Mm,
Don't think it's going to happen, but I would love it.
no,
I
yeah,
just, yeah, big fan of the sport. Love McLaren. Love everything that they stand for. Love, yeah. Just love the sport in general. It's class. And I'm so glad that people can be here to see how much we are going to bumble on and mumble on about how much F1's class and all the
yeah.
drama that ensues. So,
Well, I actually do have a favorite team, but it's
oh,
not
okay,
Mercedes.
right.
It's
William.
Williams.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think similar to what you were just saying about watching McLaren, because I have such a short memory of Formula One, I think it's astounding the journey that Williams have had in the last 3 years. They came fifth in the constructors this year, which was just like they weren't
Yep.
even
The
trying to
James
do that.
Vowles effect.
James Viles, what a guy. What a guy. I love him so much. And yeah, he's clearly like neurodivergent, but that's like in an amazing way. Like you just watch it, like the way his mind works is pretty incredible.
Him
And he
in
has this little,
interviews, I
yeah,
could listen to him all day. Like someone
yeah,
interviews him and they get asked like 5 questions in one, and he literally like itemizes every single question, and he says
yeah.
the answer, and then he goes, "And I'll tell you why," and then he explains the whole explanation behind the answer, and I'm like, "You're incredible.
He
Your
is.
brain is
He
insane."
is. So, you never don't count them out, is what I'm saying.
No, true. And I think with well, let's go on to the next section.
Let's.
What do we think about this next year?
So, well, I think what it's kind of going back to what you said at the beginning. It's kind of like everyone's been reset to zero. So we really have
Mhm.
no way of knowing in advance. We don't have much to go on.
Nope.
I guess things that you can always rely on are Max just being a demon in his own right and kind of being able to drive any car that he's given.
Mhm.
But otherwise, like just because Ferrari had an absolute shocker of a season last year doesn't mean they're going to suck this year. Just because McLaren were absolutely nailing it in whatever it's called, what is it called? This the era, groundbreaking, ground force era.
Ground effect.
Yes.
Good.
Just because they nailed that,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that they're going to continue to thrive with a completely new set of regulations.
No, 2026 is a completely, like Sinead said, they've completely changed everything. So usually whenever there's a set of regulation changes, the last one was in 2022. It was the ground effect era, as we just mentioned. So it was all about the floor of the car and how the air would travel under the floor, and it would create downforce, which would then make the car go around corners faster. So if you were to turn the car upside down in 2021, they would essentially look quite flat. Sure, there'd be curves in certain areas and whatnot to help airflow, but they were essentially quite flat. Now, if you were to turn the car upside down in 2022, there was all these like vortexes and like different shapes and funky things where the air would flow, and that would create downforce, and it was the downforce effect that they were pushing for. They've changed the regulations again, so now when you turn the car upside down in 2026, they'll be quite flat again, similar to what they were in 2021. But they've changed loads of other things as well. So they've done an aero change, and they've also done an engine change.
That's the big one.
Yeah. In 2016, they had an engine regulation change. So this is the first year where they're doing both. They're changing the engine, they're changing the aero. DRS, which is called drag reduction system, where the flap goes up and they can get fast from the straights for overtaking, that's gone.
Thank God,
There's now.
I do not understand what that was about. And like Tobias explained it to me probably every week that we watched together, and nope, it was a bit like when I tried to get into football and the offside rule. Like people,
Do you know if you were to like be in a car and you were to stick your hand out, you put the window down and you stick your hand out of a window, and if you did this, you could feel the air like pushing your hand back, but if you do this, it sort of goes over it and you feel like your hand's gliding through the air?
Yeah.
That's sort of what was happening with DRS, because as soon as the flap was down, it created drag and made the car slower, but then as soon as the flap goes up, more air can get through, which means the car's going faster, which then can overtake a car. So that was DRS.
That answers like 7 different questions that I had, so thank you.
Good. So the DRS is gone, but active aero is now a thing.
Ooh,
so active aero is basically DRS on the back wing and also on the front wing, which will mean that they'll be able to carry more speed through straights. And I think there's going to be certain places where they have to turn it off, but I think potentially they can also use it through corners. Could be a safety concern because you might be going too fast through corners, and we could have accidents.
More crashes, that's not good.
That's going to work hand in hand with the engine, which is now 50-50 electrical power versus engine power.
Right.
Whereas it used to be a lot more engine power with a bit of electricity on top.
Right.
Now we've got the
and this is like part
electrical
of their
power.
drive, no pun intended, to become a bit more like climate aware. No.
Yeah, so I think their thing is they want to be net zero by 2030 is the plan.
Okay, which is kind of a crazy thing for a sport that's literally run on fuel.
Yeah, but they are using sustainable fuels this year. So sustainable fuels. So I don't know enough. I'm not scientific enough to know enough about sustainable fuels.
I saw a really
but
good
I know
Instagram
it's better
post
for
the other
environment.
day.
Go
from
on.
a girl. No, I can't possibly recount everything she said in accurate detail, but she did go through the fuel, how the fuel is different, and also which teams are using which engines, and then which engines are using which brand of fuel. So I think the most interesting thing that I can remember that she said was that the fuel was developed with Aramco. Is that right?
Yep.
But that Aston Martin are the only team that are actually using Aramco fuel in their engine this year.
Okay.
So there you go.
Interesting. Well done. You
Thank
do
you.
know a lot about Formula One.
No, I don't. It's just
I feel like your knowledge is just going to grow so much this year. So there is a rumor at the moment that Mercedes, who are powering who? Sinead?
They are powering Mercedes, McLaren, Williams,
And?
and Audi?
No,
No.
Alpine.
Ah,
So,
close enough.
so yeah, Mercedes. There's a rumor going around that they have found a loophole within the regulations, and their engine is going to be
Ooh,
a lot faster. Which, if
I
you were to take
see.
that as it at face value of seeing all these rumors, that would essentially say that Mercedes, McLaren, Williams, and Alpine will be right up there. There's also the same rumor going around about
Alpine?
Red Bull,
Really?
about well, yeah, maybe because they literally threw the rulebook out, not threw the rulebook out. They threw all of the development out last year, and they focused entirely on 2026.
Right,
I don't
which
see
would
it.
explain why they
Yeah,
did so badly. Yeah. Poor
exactly.
Pierre. Poor
So
Pierre.
Pierre Gasly and
Ah,
Colapinto, Franco.
yeah, but
So
yeah.
I think the there's also a rumor going around that Red Bull have found the same trick, but Red Bull are making their own engines for the first
Yeah.
time ever this year.
Right.
So back in
They
20,
love a challenge, Red Bull, don't they? They just
they
love
do,
to
yeah.
just yeah.
I am going to say back in, I think it was 2016, might have even been earlier. Honda came back into Formula One and designed an engine for McLaren. You may have seen random clips and things. Fernando Alonso was driving McLaren at the time, and it was not good. It was
Right.
really, really slow. Um, Honda have then won all those championships recently with Max Verstappen and Red Bull. So it shows
Hmm.
how much of a growth they can take, but it takes
Yeah.
time to get there. So I don't think we'll get onto Red Bull because of what's just happened recently, but
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how great Red Bull and Racing Bulls are going to do.
Right.
Instead of DRS, there is something called an overtake mode this year, which will sort of
Ooh,
happen in a
see,
similar
that's a
way
lot
to how it
more
happened.
like, uh, family friendly. Like, oh,
Yeah.
overtake mode. That sounds like, something a superhero would use rather than DRS. Just like, what,
Yeah.
what? Like, you know?
So they're going to have, if they're within 1 second of the car in front, I think they have like 100% of their battery energy that they can use on certain straights, similar to what DRS was.
Okay.
But then other cars can also use boost at any time, and there's also a recharge function as well. So it's going to be really interesting, one, to see how Formula One TV makes this make sense to us as a
Mm-hmm.
viewer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really interested to see how that's going to look in terms of like what we see and also how it's explained. Um,
And how
yeah,
how much time do the drivers get to test things out before the first race? Because like it's a brand new everything. Like
it's a
it's
very good
not. I'm
question,
not
Sinead.
testing you. I'm just like
No,
because
it's good. It is
obviously
generally a good question.
to just put a car around a track is so much money and personnel. It's not like they
Hmm.
can just have unlimited, track time. I mean, they have those simulators, don't they? They have like
They have simulators that have been
yeah,
running simulations on for the past year. I
yeah.
think the other day, someone did a simulation on who was I listening to? I was listening to somebody that did a simulation on Barcelona for a whole race in terms of like they put the engine on a dyno and they just like made it run as though it was doing Barcelona track that day. So I think all the teams are doing that constantly. So
Right.
testing, 11th to the 13th of February is the first one. The next one is
Okay.
the 18th to the 20th of February. That's testing
Uh-huh.
2, and then we go racing. So they
So just
have
two, and they all like get
one,
to
two,
see
three,
each
four,
other
5.
testing. So like,
They have so they're all testing at the same place.
ooh,
So they have
okay.
6 days. Now I know that the cars are allowed to go on a shakedown. So Audi did their shakedown last week. Cadillac did their shakedown. I want to say Saturday, maybe even yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So they have such limited testing to like understand how these cars work and how they're going to work moving forwards.
Okay.
We have 6 sprint weekends. We've got 22 race weekend, but we've got 6 of them as sprint weekends instead of qualifying and race. So it's a slightly different format. Yeah, that's sort of how I feel about this next year. How do you feel about the next year?
Excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess sort of like following on from what I was saying before, I don't have too many expectations because so many things are new that I
Hmm.
just, and like you're saying, I did see a headline about the loophole with the engines,
Hmm.
but I'm not savvy enough to know why that's such a big deal. But now you've explained it to me, so
They're
that's good.
saying it's going to be up to 4/10 a lap. That's nearly half a
That's a
second.
lot.
They're going to be.
Yeah,
It's a huge amount, but
yeah.
we'll see. I mean, I don't think. I think everything is rumors until we find out what's going on properly.
Okay.
Um,
Also, if they
current
found a
news. Oh, go on.
loophole, sorry, if they found a loophole, wouldn't they want to not tell anyone that they had found it? Or do you think it was more like a leak?
Probably a bit of a leak, and also the
Yeah,
fact that everything has to get submitted by the FIA for them to determine whether it is legal or not. It's probably
right.
all those sort of things. I mean, also Formula
Okay.
One is such a political sport,
Yeah,
which you already know. Um,
yeah.
yeah, it's going to be fun to see how it's. I'm going to assume that if there is this massive deficit in engines, I think they'll go, okay, because all the engines are designed, but next year, no. Or
Right,
next year, yes, every other team needs to catch up because they found a
right,
loophole. Now it's your turn.
right.
But yeah, makes me worried for the likes of Ferrari, Audi,
Yeah.
Honda.
Yeah.
We'll see. We will see. Okay, next section we're going to do this all the time, is current news. What's just happened? We had a livery launch
So,
for. Go on.
why
Catch my
is
dog.
it called a livery?
Livery is just the. It's just the paint job, basically. So
Right.
every year they'll do a different paint job. They might have different sponsors on the cars and things. Is he
Mm-hmm.
really loud?
Not like just in a cute way. It's
Cute.
endearing that you have a
It's
dog,
just
sort of a thing.
going bonkers at the
Um,
postman.
for
So
next
yes.
week, I'm going to look up the etymology of the word livery because it's an unusual one and try to figure out why that's what it's called, if you know what I
Okay.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Red Bull and Racing Bulls did their livery launch.
I didn't see it.
Thoughts? You didn't see it?
I
Have you
didn't
seen the
see it.
cars?
So can I guess that the Red Bull car looks pretty much the same as all the other Red Bull cars that they've ever done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The layout is very, very similar. Although
Someone got
um
paid a lot of money for that. Like,
to do copy and paste.
yeah,
No,
literally.
this year that Red Bull livery, I don't know if it was because of the lights, but it pops.
Hmm.
Like the
Okay.
blue they've changed it to is a slightly lighter blue. It's a
Chocolatey.
bit glossy and
Right.
shiny. Like it's so much more like, I don't know, sparkly. And it's also got Red Bull like sort of imprinted within the blue paint as well. It looks class.
Oh, yeah. No, I can see
The
it there. Yeah.
yeah. The Racing
That is
Bulls
cool.
are very similar to last year, apart from they have changed a bit at the back because obviously Red Bull have now got Ford powertrains. So they're called
Hmm.
Red Bull Powertrains Ford, I believe. Red Bull. Red Bull Powertrains, which is also an affiliation with Ford. There you are. Red Bull
Wait, so the
Ford
team is
Powertrains.
called
That's what they're called.
Red Bull Ford Powertrains?
That's Red Bull Ford Powertrains are powering Red Bull and Racing Bulls.
Right. And they're called Racing Bulls because they keep changing their name. It's very confusing.
V-carb Racing
V-carb.
Bulls.
You know that when my fiance or I want to get a Red Bull from the shop, we say, "Can you get me a V carb?"
Do you know what V-carb stands for?
Visa Cash App Racing Bulls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a big old tongue twister.
this sort of new age of sponsorship where like it's all fintech and gambling and stuff. It's just so much
Yeah,
less classy than the old days.
yeah, yeah,
Like you have all these like Revolut,
yes.
whatever.
Revolut Audi
It just doesn't have the same,
or Audi Revolut.
Scuderia Ferrari. That's timeless.
Yeah,
You don't
and
see
always will be.
Ferrari going
Always will be.
Ferrari Santander Bet 365.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I think it was Vettel once said, even if you're not a Ferrari fan, you're a Ferrari fan because of the history they've got and like the tradition. I love it. How do we think Red Bull are going to do this season? You think the Max was going to be good because he can pull anything around the track, right?
Yeah. But I don't think they're going to win.
Do you think they'll win a race?
Maybe. Yeah. I really, really hope that Hajar doesn't fall foul of the Red Bull curse because I really like him, right? And what I mean
Yep.
by that, for maybe people that don't know what I mean, is that Red Bull have cycled through an inordinate number of drivers in their second seat, um, arguably because they essentially are a team that supports Max Verstappen and kind of just uses the second car as like a way for him to win more.
It's Max's team, 100%.
Yeah.
It's Max's team. But
And so a lot of the
Helmut
drivers.
Marko's gone.
That's true. No, I have
And that
high
was a
hopes for
huge part.
Hajar, and I think he's a really good driver, and I think he had a lot of very promising races this year. So I really hope that he's able to come out from under that and, prove. I mean, he's never. Well, maybe he is, but he's never gonna outrace Max over a whole season. But
Yep.
I would
I
like to
think
see
he.
him.
I think Hadjar's going to have like a solid year this year, just getting to understand the team. I don't think Lauren Meckes, who's now the team principal, is going to kick him out. I think they already had a relationship from when he was at Racing Bulls.
And they're both French.
And they're both French. Yeah, good point. I think Hadjar's got a good run this year, and I think because he's new, he's really quick, he's really fresh. I think again the big technical regulation change, he's going to be great. Obviously, I'm just assuming, but I think he's going to be great. I think Red Bull will not win a race this year. I think Racing Bulls could be at the back, potentially behind Cadillac, who are the new joiners this year.
Okay, I think that's fair.
My assumption.
I think Cadillac could come in smoking. Like, they've got two really good drivers, and on that basis alone. But I don't know anything about their tech setup and obviously they're literally a brand new team.
Brand new team, but they've almost been running for a year, like from all these simulation rooms and HQ rooms where it's a case of every time there's been a race, they've simulated a race happening as well. So I don't know.
That's good.
Higher hopes. But I think Racing Bulls with this new partnership with Ford, I think it's going to be really hard. And I think Racing Bulls were really great last year and watched them come in like 5th at Australia. But I think they're going to be towards the back of the pack, and I think Red Bull will not win a race this year. There's my little prediction. We'll see. Max Verstappen's so good though, so he might do. That's my thoughts. Okay, next up we have predictions. Our predictions for the year ahead. So for those who don't know, Sinead and I have got our own little private document each. We've got a few things that we're going to go through. I think we're going to do this for every single race weekend that comes up, but we're going to do one for the whole season of what we think. If we pick the same one, we have to change it on the fly. How about that? Okay.
Yeah.
You can go first. So, first one is Wooden Spoon Award. Who is going to be last?
So I think it's lazy to just say Lance Stroll. God love that man. The light in his eyes is gone. Anyway, I'm going to give it to Lawson, and it's not only because I don't like him as a person.
No joke. First prediction.
Lawson.
I also had Lawson.
Yeah, well, you can't have him. You can have Lance if you
want. No. Okay, I'm going for Perez.
Okay. Should we be writing this down so that we can go back to it? All right, you're right. Of course you are. Of course you are. Yeah. I don't do that stuff. I don't write things down.
Biggest surprise of the year.
Do I go first again, or do you want to go first this time so that it's fair?
No, you can go first every time for this. I'm going to be. You're new to the sport. I'm going to be really nice. So this is not the biggest surprise. It's just a surprise for the year, but that would be notable.
Biggest surprise of the year. George Russell wins.
Okay, I know where you're throwing all of your eggs into George Russell's basket. I can see that.
Someone has
My
to.
biggest
Someone has to.
my biggest surprise of the year. I was umming and ahhing, but I'm going to go for Colapinto.
Oh, you just mean in general? Like, well, I
Yeah,
mean,
I think
that's a really safe answer considering he got 0 points last year.
got to play the game. You got to play the game.
God love him. His wee
Um,
face.
red flag of the year. So this is like someone that's going to not do so well.
Lando.
Okay. Why?
I think one of the things I love about him is that he doesn't have that like cold, calculated mentality of a serial killer that Max has, and that Piastri kind of also has. And so I think all of the changes and the pressure of having won the championship already is going to get to him, and it's going
Okay.
to affect him. I think. I'm
Fair.
not saying that he's going to come last. I'm just saying that.
No. Just in general.
I think
yeah.
he's not. He's going to potentially not even be on the podium at the end of the year.
He's going to have a downfall.
Yeah.
Downfall this year after winning the championship. Cool. I'm going to go with Ferrari. I think Ferrari are just. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, because I would love to see a championship where you've got McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, Williams, Red Bull, all us not having a clue who's going to win.
Yeah.
That's what we want. I don't think it's going to happen.
Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton give one more interview. I can't do it. Like, God, like, I just want to give them a big hug.
Brings us on to most controversial interview of the year award.
As in, who's going to give the most controversial interview of the year?
Yep.
Can I repeat a person and say Lawson again? Because he's always putting his foot in his mouth.
Yep, absolutely.
Great.
Lovely. I've gone for Charles Leclerc. I think that if it's not great, I think if it's not a good year, I think there's a very, very small potential he could lose.
On camera.
He's going to absolutely lose it.
Yeah. I would love to see that, to be honest. Like, give us a bit of fight, Charles, you know?
Absolutely. He said at the end of last year that it's now or never for Ferrari.
Right.
So they have to deliver, otherwise not good. Controversial radio message of the year.
It's a cheap answer. Alonso.
Okay.
He has form.
He does. GP2
I could
engine,
watch
GP2.
I could watch like just an hour-long video of just him talking on the radio.
There's probably one there. There genuinely
probably is. Yeah.
I've gone for Lewis Hamilton. I think he had some outbursts on the radio last year with his race engineer, and this year his race engineer has moved jobs.
Okay.
So he's still working with Ferrari, but he's not Lewis Hamilton's race engineer anymore. So who will it be?
Ooh.
And good luck to them.
Yeah.
Because when Lewis wants something, he shouts and screams about it. There's a couple of really interesting videos on YouTube of Lewis Hamilton radio messages, and it's not pretty. Best outfit, best dressed of the year.
So, obviously, the front runner for this award would have been Yuki Tsunoda, because he does have really good style. Also Hamilton, but again, you know, the guy is like, he's an ambassador for every designer
brand
under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say Leclerc, because he's been recently getting into like fashion a bit more. Like I think he released his own line of clothing and stuff. So
nice.
I don't know. People were joking that he did it because he has to pay for his wedding, which, you know, fair play. I would do that if I had the, you know, the audience and I looked like Charles Leclerc. I would do the same.
He is a very handsome man.
He's so gorgeous. Sad. Oh my God.
Sad.
And you know, like the best tell of that is like he gets out of his car after after
and the hair's
racing
pristine.
For like an hour and a half. His hair is amazing. His skin is glowing. and there's like a 4K HD camera on him, and he looks crazy good. I'm
There was
so
this one
jealous.
time he won the Monaco Grand Prix
Yeah.
last year,
Mm-hmm.
not 2025,
Yeah.
2024,
Yeah.
and he jumped into like the sea after the
Mm-hmm.
race and
Yeah.
came up still with his hat on. Like, as in,
Right.
like, the hat stayed on and his hair,
Yeah.
like, if I jumped into the sea or
Yeah.
anything, like, the hat would fall off, my hair would be all over my face.
Yeah.
He came up still picture perfect. I was like,
Yeah.
how have you done that?
Like in a
Okay.
perfume ad or something. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Should have been in slow motion, him coming up
Yeah.
from the ocean. I know nothing about fashion at all. You'll notice this if you ever see a photo of me. So I have gone for the legend that is Fernando Alonso. I don't know what his fashion sense is like, but I feel like
It's
out of all of them, it's the
it's
closest to me.
interesting. I'll say
Okay,
that.
great.
Yeah. He loves a white suit,
Fine.
which,
Sure, if you can rock a white suit, then you're surely fashionable, right?
yeah,
I don't
white
know.
suits famously worn by
Sure.
fashionable men and
John
not porn
Travolta in
stars from the
Saturday Night Fever.
70s.
Moving swiftly on. Constructors champion.
Mercedes.
That's really annoying because that's also who I went for, because I'm even wearing a Mercedes top. Right. Quickly, McLaren. But you've taken Mercedes. I'm going to go for... No, I'm not. You know what? No, McLaren. McLaren. That's my prediction. Okay. Top 3 in the Drivers' Championship, starting from 3rd place, please.
3rd place. Oh, that's hard. I'm just gonna this is mental. Okay. 3rd place, Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
2nd place.
I've gone 3rd place, George Russell.
Ah, thank you. I appreciate that. 2nd place, Piastri.
Mm-hmm. I've gone
You know
2nd
what's
place.
coming.
I've gone 2nd place. It's going to be so wrong. I'm going for Max.
Yeah.
Even after everything I've said, being like, I don't think they're going to win a race. But oh man, this is so bad. Oh well.
1st place, well, my Georgie boy has to be G-Riz.
Mr. Russell.
Yeah.
Mr. Russell. My 1st place, I've gone for Kimi Antonelli. Because why not? Let's see the battle of George versus Kimi.
Right. Sure. Whatever you say.
I have gone for just randoms this year because I think with the whole rulebook being torn up, wow. The whole rulebook being torn up and thrown out and just rewriting everything, I think it could be anyone's. And I am really, really excited. Next up, we have Sinead's fun facts. She's going to bring one to every podcast we do. Let's hear it.
Fun fact for today. Max Verstappen's favourite soup is tomato soup. You heard it here first, people. You heard it here first.
Of course it is.
I know.
Like,
it's the soup of a psychopath.
I just think that like tomato soup is just, it just does what it says on the tin. It's just tomato soup. Like, there's no, and that is exactly Max Verstappen.
Yep.
He's just a really fast racing driver.
Mm-hmm.
Like him or hate him, he's very, very good. Right.
He is.
That's Sinead's fun fact. Now we're going to go to a feature that we're going to do every week, and we're calling it Quizifying. It's qualifying and quiz mixed together. I'm here for it. We've got 3 questions each. Hopefully mine are a little bit more tame, but also what I'm realizing from our first episode is that Sinead actually does know a lot about Formula 1, and these might be really easy for her. Okay, shall I go first?
Yeah.
Right. Can you name all the drivers that won a race last year?
Okay, let's start with the easy ones. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri. George Russell. How many more are there?
You tell me. Tell me when you finished answering.
It would really help me if I just had a list of the drivers' names. Do you ever get when you're just like, I'm just blanking on, you're like, no, I don't get that. No, he didn't win one either. I'm going to stick with that.
You're sticking with those 4 drivers? So you got Max, Lando, Piastri, and George. George.
Who won a race?
Yeah. Not sprint races. I'm not including that.
No.
A race.
Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
You are correct.
Yes!
Well done.
Okay.
All good. Question number 2. How many races did George win?
Okay, so this is an interesting one because didn't he come second in one of them, and then after a post-race disqualification, he won? Because
I don't think so.
Kimi came third. That's how Kimi got his podium.
Yes, they both got elevated to a position, but I believe it didn't mean a win. Yeah.
Okay. 2.
Correct. You're very good at this. Can you name the races?
Vegas?
Nope.
No, that was way too late in the season.
That was the year before, 2024. He won that.
Yeah. Gosh, no, I would literally be here just naming places
That's right.
until you.
He won Canada and Singapore.
Right, yeah, I wouldn't have got that. Yeah.
Okay, question number 3. Can you name the last 4 world champions?
Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton.
This is the hard one.
Nico Rosberg.
10 out of 10. Well done. Smashed it. Oh my God, Yeah, I've really underestimated how much. You're like, I don't really watch Formula One. I've never really known much about it. And you know a lot more than I expected. I was like, she might go with like Vettel or something. But no, you went with Rosberg. Well done. Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay, there's your 3 questions. You got 3 points.
Right. So I have 2 like proper testing your knowledge questions, and then one like a fun question, which you might actually cut out of this because it might not be appropriate. But anyway, here we go.
Okay.
Okay. Which circuit has hosted the most races ever?
Silverstone.
No.
Monaco.
No.
Ha!
Monza.
Monza.
Yep. It's yep. You can look it up, but it is.
No points for Jay. Great.
Okay. Which driver number has F1 banned from being used by drivers?
Which driver number has F1 banned from being used?
Your face! This is so embarrassing for you. Like
so embarrassing. Right, next week I am turning up the wick on these questions. 13?
Yes, but you guessed that.
Yeah, I did, yeah. What's the reason?
The number 13 was connected to 2 consecutive deaths in 1925 and 1926. Paul Torquay and Giulio Mazzetti. In recent history, 4 drivers have tried racing as number 13, but fires, retirements, and failure to qualify reinforce this curse.
Okay.
Most recently, Pastor Maldonado used the number on his Lotus in 2014 and 2015 and retired from F1 with almost more retirements than points in those 2 seasons.
Right.
So there you go.
I didn't know that. Thank you. Question number 3.
This is the fun one. Which Formula One term is also commonly used in gay sex slang?
I have no idea. Lights out and away we go. I don't know. I have no idea. And there's so many things that are rattling through my head that I'm like, I don't know if I can say that. Go on.
Bottoming.
Bottoming. Yeah, the car's bottoming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well done. Right.
Yeah.
So
that's
that
one
is
for
3
Jay.
3 points to you and 1 for me. And I now am regretting everything I've said about doing this podcast. Anyway. Right. We are at the end of our podcast. We've done our first podcast, Sinead. How do you feel? How do you feel?
I flew in. I feel great. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely. Well, if
What
you
about you?
have... Yeah, we've done it. And I think it's only going to get better. And I'm excited for how much better it's going to get. So if you have got this far, please give us a subscribe to whatever audio platform you're listening to, our YouTube channel, and we will continue to do 1 episode a week. And please feel free to keep on enjoying and watching and listening to us as we ramble on about F1. But yeah, you've been listening to the Formula Fun podcast with Jay and Sinead.
Where Jay brings the formula.
And Sinead definitely brings the fun. See you later.
Beep, beep.